up is Nathalie Massenet, founder of Net-a-Porter. I'll let you take it from here.
Thank you, Danny. Good morning, everybody. First, I'd like to thank Nikesh for having me here today to talk about my business and to talk about being an entrepreneur. It's a great honor to be speaking in front of you and to be sitting in this amazing panel. And I'm not a serial entrepreneur. I've only started one business. But I believe that it's still relevant what I'm doing with the rest of the team for Net-a-Porter to be on this panel, because in this fast-moving technology world where the market is evolving so quickly, you can actually take the attitude of serial entrepreneur and apply it to one business. Now, before I tell you more about Net-a-Porter, guys, some of you, I have some bad news for you. Contrary to what some of you men in the audience have been told by the women in your life, Net-a-Porter is not a health food store. And it's not a charity. I know you've been looking at those debits on a monthly basis and talking about it at home, but you'd be surprised. A lot of women have kept this secret to themselves. And a lot of men actually think that Net-a-Porter has also got something to do with Porter, maybe being a concierge service. There are a lot of misconceptions about the business. But the one thing's for sure is Net-a-Porter is about women and the women's market. And what women love to do certainly includes shopping and reading fashion magazines. And the internet has allowed us an amazing opportunity to target one group. And I started Net-a-Porter in 2000. We've gone from 3 people in a room in Chelsea to 300 people in 2 continents. We've gone from serving our website to customers who access us on dial-up, now to broadband and Wi-Fi. We've gone from the capacity to do 1,000 orders in 1 year to thousands in a day. And through all of this, we've stayed very constant to the fact that we're about fashion, we're about women, we're about lowest common technology denominator. We want to make it simple, we want to make it easy for women to access our site, and we've been about service. But since there are so many men in the audience, I thought it was important to tell you a little bit more about what Net-a-Porter is about, so that Danny and I can then have a conversation where we're all in on the secret. So if you could roll the video.
witness those bills. Perfect.
Sorry.
Yeah, I understand. So tell us about how this happened. You were at Tatler and you had this wacky idea to do this?
Actually, I'm a journalist, and I tried to convince several people that they should do this. It was at the time when the pashmina was the big worldwide craze, and suddenly, overnight, every woman from Hong Kong to London to New Jersey needed to have a pashmina and had to have them in every color. And a friend of mine was importing them and selling them to John Lewis and Harrods. And I said to her, why sell it with a wholesale profit when you can actually go direct to consumer? Have you seen this thing, the internet? You could just create a website and sell these pashminas to women all around the world from one location and take the entire margin. And she said, oh, no, I don't even know how to turn on a computer. And I tried to convince her, and I then tried to convince other people to do it. And as a journalist, you do see some amazing ideas come, and you write about them. And I thought, you know what, maybe this is one I can throw myself into, and I'll do it. With absolutely no idea of what it took to start a business, but with an end goal in sight, I started it. And I was very lucky because I had amazing people around me from day one who were able to advise me or contribute to the business. But it started really from just a desire that it should exist.
Got it. And has fashion always been your passion?
Yes. I mean, I love film, and possibly some of my love for film shows up in trying to create an online experience. I love the fact that you can take a group of people and turn the lights down and alter their experience for a little bit. And I think the internet is such a personal medium that for the women who come to our site, they're able to interface with this technology and really get sucked into this new world. But I love fashion.
So, what's interesting as someone who's sort of witnessed a bunch of the e-tailing, e-commerce sites that have come about, it's actually gone in multiple waves. I don't know if you'd agree with this, but when I first started using Amazon about 10 years ago, I would go there to search for one product and I'd come out with buying 10 products. And so it was a great means of actually converting me into a much bigger buyer than what I had initially decided that I was going to be. And I don't know about your use about Amazon today, but now I use Amazon as a fulfillment mechanism. I actually don't really venture there and explore. And actually one of the difficulties of sort of this whole Web 2.0 space from our perspective is the fact that you have certain sites that are great for exploration but are terrible for fulfillment. And you have other sites that are great for fulfillment but have really sort of given up on exploration. And you guys seem to really focus on both elements.
I think it's important to control the entire customer experience. And certainly we never forget that we're also a service and fulfillment company. From day one we were global, shipping to every country in the world. If a consumer wanted to buy online and get a product, they could have it delivered. We worked with partners such as DHL to deliver the goods worldwide. And we created a taxes and duties paid system so that products could be expedited through customs, and we could do overnight delivery throughout Europe, 2-day delivery to the Far East and to Asia. And we've also sped it up because consumers today want everything faster. So we do same-day delivery in London, same-day delivery in Manhattan, two of the most important markets for us. But as we continue to develop our business, we very much believe in investing in the experience and making it richer, having more content, more video, but always fused with this idea that there's an end experience and an end user who's going to be expecting a delivery. And I think a lot of the businesses today are just focusing on trying to attract all the customers to one area or through sites that feature comparative shopping. But they leave the consumer hanging dry without actually addressing that something has to be delivered to them at the end. We've always put the consumer first.
And then in terms of, on the video you talk about 52 weekly online magazine.
Yeah.
So what happens to your predecessor boss, and what happens to the whole magazine industry? You go to any airport, and it's incredible. It's all fashion for women, pretty much. I mean, there's like decoration and stuff. But it's I don't know. It seems to be mostly. I better go now. There's the New Yorker and stuff, but it's mostly fashion. Anyway, no. So what happens to that industry?
Well, I don't think that, if Net-a-Porter didn't exist, the magazine industry would have to reinvent itself as well. And hopefully there are some serial entrepreneurs and the publishing companies. They're all going to take their content online. I think that the monthly glossies are going to have to just create richer, more interesting content, more beautiful. They can't rely on news. We're all getting our fashion news on a daily basis, whether it's from style.com or any of the daily news services. But all the publishing companies are certainly looking to move online. What Net-a-Porter is focusing on is not just delivering the news, but delivering the final product to a global audience.
So I assume that a lot of those magazines actually rely on advertising for the lion's share of their revenue, and I don't think you guys do any advertising. So what happens to that?
Well, we know we have an amazing audience and an amazing demographic. One woman in the room calls them the super days. These are women who hold down amazing jobs, they're time poor, cash rich. And we get approached a lot by people who want to market to these women. And we're actually, again, thinking about the end user and thinking, what would she like to know about? Because she's captivated, she comes to our site. And if there are things that she should know about, whether it's how to buy the latest BMW, how to the latest skincare products, how to plan for financial wealth, because these are smart women, then we should actually filter through some of those services to her. And you can potentially call it advertising, but we would do it in a way where the end consumer would always be considered. We do take some advertising right now. We have a print book called Net-a-Porter Notes, which goes out twice a year to our customers. But again, we're always trying to fuse content with commerce. The print ads, you can actually go online, click on them, and buy the product in the ads. We want to eliminate this feeling of the media telling the customer you have to have a certain thing, and then she has to go out and find it. We want to make sure that the two are linked.
So it sounds, by the way you're talking about Net-a-Porter, you're pretty much set there for the next 10, 15 years of work.
Yes.
Is that fair?
Yes, and we do that.
So you're not really going on the serial path. You might just stick with Net-a-Porter and make it the biggest fashion buying experience in the world.
That's the idea.
Okay.
And I think that, we live, we're an amazing team in the business, and we live the history of so many businesses within weeks and innovations that change the course of our business every month. And it's exciting. I think the day that it gets boring, I guess we'll stop.
Great. Thank you very much, Nathalie.